In this video, we will show you how to configure task transition inside Nuxeo Studio. Two tasks or nodes are linked by a transition. This is how you can move from one task to another. Additionally, you can add a condition on the transition, which is called a filter. A node can contain one or several transitions. Every transition creates an endpoint with the transition name, which is composed of a name. It's only displayed in the graph and it's used internally by the engine. The condition is an MVL expression evaluated by the workflow engine when the user has finished their task. Finally, the chain is used to execute some business logic when following a specific transition. You can add a transition manually in the Transition tab or automatically when adding a new action. All automation chain and automation scripting in workflows are executed with administrator privileges. You have to remember that all chains are executed on a list of documents, even if the workflow is launched on a single document. Automation chain or scripting can be plugged in different places inside workflow. It can be set as input of the task just before the workflow engine enters to the node. You can also add an automation chain as output just before the workflow engine leaves the node and follows the transition if any exists. Finally, you can trigger an automation chain on a specific transition. While talking about automation chain operation, you can find few operations available in the workflow context category. For example, you have access to workflow get open task operation that is used after having fetched the context document. This is used to retrieve all open tasks for a specific workflow instance. You can also execute the workflow task.complete operation, which stimulates the click of a button by your user in order to follow a transition, or the workflow.resume node automation operation. Let's update now the document lifecycle state between each task and version the document once approved. For this exercise, I want to have different lifecycle states depending on the workflow task we are located. To do so, I've imported the default Nuxeo pattern configuration external template so that I'm able to edit the default lifecycle. My lifecycle definition is now updated, so when the document is created, it's in project state. If I start the new workflow, it becomes in review. Then if the task is rejected, it goes back to project. Then when the document is updated, it goes back to in review state. If it's approved, it goes to approve. I can save it. Now I need all the automation chains to move from one state to another. I will use the document follow lifecycle transition automation operation. For this automation chain, I need to add the document.create version automation operation so that I generate a major version. I can save and now add all those automation chains into my workflow. Now in the file review task, we will edit it and we want to execute the AC2 in review automation chain so that every time we are sure that we are entering in the in review lifecycle state. Then depending on the transition, if the document is rejected, then we have to go back to project. And if it's validated, we execute the AC to in approved automation chain. I don't need to edit anything on the update document because when we validate, we will go back to the file review task and this automation chain will be executed. If we add this automation chain in the output of the update document task, it will raise an error because the automation chain will be executed twice. In the next video, we will show you how to use workflow variables. Thanks for watching.